Heath.
Hey, Marita.
Come on in.
All right, thanks. Wow, this is a great little place you have here.
Thanks. Yeah, a little slice of heaven here in Somerville.
So I saw that you wrote in about a dimming issue.
I did.
What do we
and
have?
It's this dimmer right here.
Okay.
When I bought the house, there was no dimmer. So I put in the original dimmer myself. It did nothing. And then I bought a more expensive one per the advice of a friend that came by to help troubleshoot. And now I get a flickering light.
Oh, yeah.
Not ideal for movies.
Not great. The good news about this is not that uncommon. With a little bit of troubleshooting, I think we can solve this by looking at a couple of issues. So I'm going to start by turning the switch off. Right. And then I want to take one of the fixtures down.
Okay. And
the fixtures are going to be one of the first things we look at to see if the dimmer is even compatible with the fixture that you have. So we can tell right away that this is low voltage by looking at it. We have this box. So what we have is we have a 120 volt track, and the head that's put into it is low voltage, bringing it down from 120 to 12 volts with this transformer. Now we're typically going to have two types of transformers that might be used in this situation. One's going to be a magnetic low voltage, and one's going to be an electronic low voltage. Two very different ways to dim. They want different dimmers. So we want to make sure we match that. In this case, it actually tells you here, electronic low voltage dimmer. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that dimmer and see what we have.
Okay.
All right, so let's start by popping this plate off. Pass that to you for a second.
Okay.
And we'll take this lower piece off. And it should tell us right here what we have. And you can see right here, it tells you that it is an electronic low voltage dimmer, so it's the correct dimmer. Okay. It's very easy to confuse though, so we're going to put this back. If you don't mind, I want to show you some of the options that we do have and some of the other things you can run into. This is one of the biggest issues we have when it comes to dimming not being compatible.
Great, I'd love to learn more.
All right, so the reason sometimes people get confused is we have a lot of options that look exactly the same.
Identical.
Package is the same, the face of the plates are the same, but all four of these actually do four very different things. So we're going to start with, we have the incandescent. If it's a dimmer that's 8 or 9 years old or older, that's probably something that you had. I don't know if that's something maybe you put in the first time.
That looks like what I bought the first time around, yep.
The newer ones are going to be more of a universal all-in-one kind of dimmer. So they're going to do the incandescents and halogens, they're going to do some dimmable fluorescents, and they'll do the LEDs. So that's this one right here. Then we're down to the last two that we're worried about for your track, which are the low voltage. So we have a magnetic low voltage dimmer and an electronic low voltage dimmer. Again, they all operate very differently, but when you open them up and take a look, I mean, unless you really paid close attention, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference. I mean, we still have a hard time with trying to figure out what's what. I mean, the wiring's the same, the faceplate's the same. The good news now is we don't have to worry about that. They now make an all-in-one that really does everything all in one.
Kidding me.
It'll do the incandescents, the LEDs, the magnetic, and the electronic, and save us the headache. It's okay, you have the right one, but we still have the flickering.
Yeah.
So there's only one thing left, the light bulb compatibility.
Okay.
So let's go take a look at the bulbs that are in there and see what we can do.
All right.
All right, so in residential, we're typically going to find three different types of bulbs. We're going to find the incandescent or halogens that we would have seen years ago, and some people still have some, but those have been slowly phased out due to the high wattage and high energy use. So there's actually a big push for the LEDs now, which are great. We get all of the energy efficiency of the CFLs, a lot of flexibility as far as color temperature, light output, that kind of thing, but we do have to pay attention that sometimes they're not always compatible as far as dimming. There are non-dimming and dimming versions of those, so when we put something into place, we want to make sure it works. So my guess is, looking at the fact that you have LEDs, we have everything else correct, and it's not dimming, chances are it's a non-dimmable bulb.
Need a new bulb.
So I brought some with me. We'll try swapping them out and see what happens.
Awesome.
So we'll start by taking that retaining clip out, and that should just tip out. And I'll trade with you.
All right.
Let's try that one. And you can see we just have the two pins inside there. Just want to line up with. Press back in place, and then that ring back on top. And it's got a little groove right there that it sits in and kind of holds the bulb in place.
All right.
And then we'll put that back up. And
on to the next.
on to the next. All right. So I'll take that down. If you want to take that apart, and we'll throw the next one in, and I'll work my way around. All right, the last one's in place.
Test it.
Let's give it a shot. All right, they work. And now let's see if they dim.
Yes.
Look at that. No flickering. They dim.
Beautiful.
Much better.
Awesome. Now, what do I do with the old bulbs?
So the old ones, technically there's no issue throwing them out, but a lot of places want to recycle them. So if you have a place you can do it, it's not a bad idea.
That's great. Actually, my work is doing an electronics recycling program next week, so perfect
Excellent.
timing.
Nice and easy.
Yep.
And changing anything else in the house?
I would like dimmers upstairs.
Okay.
So besides checking the bulb compatibility, what else should I look at?
So the best thing to do is take a look at some of the company websites, whether you're looking at the dimmer or the bulb. They'll tell you on there what's been tested, what's compatible, and what'll work, so you don't have to do it twice.
Easy.
All right.
Thanks, Heath.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.